I know the weekend is ongoing and it never stops, but what do you think about this 2022 draft class as a whole right now?
Yeah, I think we're fired up. There's a lot of excitement, but still a lot of work to be done. It's a great opportunity for these young men. They've worked really hard to have this opportunity. Now they get to come in and compete. And so I'm excited for the scouts. I'm excited for the coaches because I know how much they've invested into this process. And so, when you add a player and everyone's fired up and the coaches are screaming and hollering and hugging each other, scouts are hugging each other, it's a special moment. So, but really just fired up to add these guys and let them compete with a lot of good players that are currently on our roster. So, but there's still work to be done. We have free agency coming up after the draft, so guys are going to be on the phone recruiting their tails off. So still some work to do.
Just how much in sync are you and Robert? Remember, you guys, when you hired him, you didn't know each other that well. You bring him in last January, and everybody's watching you guys in these draft room moments, the embraces, and also your vision. It seems like everything is in lockstep.
No, I think coach and I see football the same way, and feel like everything starts in the front, up front with the O&D lines, and goes from there. And we've been able to get on the same page with both of our staffs and really develop a strong game plan going into each opportunity to upgrade our roster, whether it's free agency or the draft. And that's done together. There aren't any unilateral decisions around here. We talk it out. We talk through as many different scenarios as we can, and we come up with the best plan for the New York Jets, egos aside. And so it's a special thing. Just try to keep adding our types of players.
Did you ever envision any scenario where you come out of the first round? I know you go over so many scenarios where you come out of the first round with Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and then Jermaine Johnson as well.
That's a crazy one. We do a ton of scenarios, and with the picks that we had in the top four, there's a lot of rabbit holes we could go down, right? And so trades and who could be available. And I felt like most people's ideal scenario going into draft night Thursday was Sauce and Wilson. And so that was cool to get that done. And then when the other opportunity presented itself, like, whoa, let's try to make this happen. We didn't think it was a possibility, but the fact that we're able to work the phone lines, ultimately come to an agreement with Tennessee and get up there for Jermaine, um, I think that was when the rocket ship really took off, and guys were so excited. So, yeah, it's been a fun weekend.
Can you talk about adding some athletic freaks? Sauce is a 4.4 guy. Garrett Wilson is a sub 4.4 guy. Bryce Hall, who carries 217, 218 pounds, he's a sub 4.4 guy.
Yeah, you know, Coach and I talk about a lot. Always take the freak. And especially if the freak loves football. And so I feel like we added some freaks that love football, and that's the plan. And so if we can add as many unusual people to the roster as possible, and if they're in this for the right reasons, good things are going to happen.
These kids are impressive too. You talk to them, humble. Ahmad's one of his first phrases was, "I want to be a sponge. I want to take it all in." Garrett just walked in the building and said, "Hey, I want to take as much advice as I can from some of these veterans." Can you say what kind of people you got in this class as well?
Yeah, guys that want to come in and compete, and guys that they're not expecting handouts, they're not entitled. They want to find a role within the team and they want to win games. And so, but they're also highly confident and highly competitive. So, cool blend of all those traits.
What did you do here on day three, Michael Clemens, and then can you talk about also getting the tight end and Jeremy Rucker and Max Mitchell, of course,
Yeah.
a big dude who's grown into his body.
Yeah, no doubt. So, fortunate at 101 to have Jeremy still on the board, and hometown guy, and grew up a Jets fan, and had him at the Senior Bowl. Brought him in on a 30 visit, got to know him really well. But also a guy that we feel can be a dynamic weapon in both the run and pass game. What he can do at the point of attack, how he can separate in routes. So really excited that he was there. Then today, getting Big Max, who was another Senior Bowl guy on the other team, but highly competitive, really versatile, really smart, very tough. So great to add him. And then with our last pick, which was early in the fourth, to add Michael Clemens, who's as mean and nasty and rugged of a guy as you can get, and is going to bring um, a lot of passion and a lot of toughness to the team.
I know your group continues to bring passion as far as all your staff. What can you say about the work they put in here to get to this point? And I know you guys are going to be working the phones all afternoon.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the work these guys have done. The coaches, they've poured a lot into this. They've poured a lot into free agency. They've poured a lot into the draft. And our college scouts, I mean, they start this process in May. You know, these guys are going to work on the 23 draft in a couple weeks, and all the miles that they travel, all the reports they write, haven't been in their shoes. You know, 180, 190 days away from your family. Um, they sacrifice a lot for this team, and so to see them have the opportunity to celebrate with us, have them back in the building. We're not doing this virtually, hugging, loving up on each other. It's a special moment.
Special weekend for you guys. Thanks, Joe.